What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The one and only James Williams Darkwaters, and I'm back. And man, my oh my, I decided to take a few days off to relax my nerves, and it goes ape crap crazy, which I kind of anticipated that. It's amazing how fast the news cycle is moving. And I told you guys, as we got closer and closer to the election, that this cycle would speed up even more. And we're seeing it speed up way, way more. So, let's touch the hot button topic of the day. Joe Biden came out today or yesterday and said that Donald Trump supporters were garbage. And if you think for a second that Joe Biden didn't say that to sabotage Kamala Harris, I'll prove it to you. It was a move to sabotage her. And at first you noticed the media was trying to swing the move and spin it. And then they just gave up on spinning it and they just embraced it. Why would they give up on the spin, and just embrace it? Because they understand that at some point in time, you can't control what Joe's going to do because Joe's the president. And Joe's sitting there saying, everybody forgot about me. I'm Joe Biden. I'm the president of the United States. And everybody talking about this damn Kamala chick. I was supposed to be running against Donald Trump. I'm Joe Biden. Look at me. See me. I am Joe. So he comes out and says that Donald Trump supporters are garbage. And it does damage. It does horrific damage. Now, let's be clear. Anybody who is a Donald Trump supporter, over the past 4 days, you've been called a fascist, a Nazi, a racist, a sexist. You've been told by Michelle Obama that wives should not submit to their husbands and disrespect their households by voting the way that she wants them to vote or he wants them to vote. And, you know, that's the one thing about all the news that got me out of it all. I'm going to lay out a case for you of how evil the Democratic Party is. Pure biblical case. In the Bible, it says, husbands, honor your wives, and wives, submit unto your husbands, so that your prayers may not be hindered. If you go back and find the exact scripture, it ends with, so that your prayers may not be hindered. So that your prayers may not be hindered. You know, feminism, the movement of feminism, you know, movement towards independent women, which means they're not submitted to any man. They're independent. The number one repercussion of it is that the prayers of the household are hindered. So the person that you go to for help, God, that prayer is hindered. And so when you see Michael Obama talking about partners, this is how you know it's really Michael instead of Michelle, talking about your partner, and when you're in that voting booth, it's private, driving a wedge between husband and wife. Now, I'm mistaken, somewhere in the Bible it says, he who he joins together, let no man tear asunder. And it's funny that there's a man trying to tear people asunder. If you just look at it from a spiritual lens, you see the wickedness and you see truly how wicked it is. But let's jump out of the spirit realm, jump into the natural realm. Let's go back to what's going on. They have zero choice but to double down because they can't control what Joe's going to say. Joe could turn on a microphone at any point in time, have a press conference at any point in time and say the wildest, most insane things. And they have no choice but to embrace it and work within the confines and context of what Joe was saying. Had they tried to deflect this and spin it, they would be spinning it from this day until election day. So, excuse me, instead of spinning it, they said, well, we're just going to embrace it. It's too late. You know what? These people are garbage. But for us, it's no surprise. You've been called everything. You've been called racist, sexist, misogynist, fascist, Nazis. The Donald Trump New York rally thing, all those people being called Nazis was wild. I mean, you talking about Asians, Latinos, blacks, Jews, whites. That's one hell of a Nazi party, man. I mean, that's what Nazis are nowadays. Well, damn. The Nazis done came a long way. They done grew up a little bit. But nonetheless, coming off the heels of that, this happens. And I think it's absolutely amazing. If you really look at Dark Joe, is who I'm going to call him at this point in time, Prior to Dark Joe saying what he was saying, the news had this story about the comedian from the rally cracking jokes about Puerto Rico. They had it like a pit bull with a bone in his mouth, just and they were going in on a joke that everybody laughed at in the building. And then here comes Joe, wham, knock it completely out the news. They can't talk about the joke anymore. Now they're on the losing end again. And it's a lose-lose situation. If you try and defend what Joe said, you're going to lose. When you embrace what he said, it's even worse. And it's not worse for us. It's worse for like that moderate voter who's in the middle, who's on the fence, who's trying to make a decision. And they're sitting there saying, well, you know, Trump's rhetoric is bad. And then here comes Joe. People who really care about words like that, they have those feelings that can be, and emotions that can be touched. And really, they've been targeting women, but I submit to you that this affects women more than men in any way, shape, or form. So he comes out and calls everybody garbage, and women are sitting there saying, well, damn. And remember, women have intuition. If that's what you feel about these people, and I'm in a household with my husband, and my husband's a Republican, and he's voting Republican, but I'm voting Democrat, and you calling my husband garbage. You calling my boyfriend garbage. Well, he ain't garbage. He's my husband. I mean, if you really look at what happened, Dark Joe picked the perfect pill. I mean, it was a silver bullet, because you're coming off the tail end of Michael telling everybody that they need to divide their household, basically telling women that don't listen to your man. He ain't right. Do what you're supposed to do. And then Joe tells them, same women, your men are garbage. Your husband is garbage. Your son is garbage. Your boyfriend is garbage. Your cousin, your father is garbage. I'm talking about, this was a devastating blow. Truly devastating blow. When I said earlier that this election was going to be studied for years to come, I meant that this election is going to be studied for years to come. I mean, you can do a thesis on the mistakes that were made during this election, going all the way back to Kamala Harris just being chosen as a nominee, while simultaneously telling everybody else that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, while they're choosing the person that they want to put in office and don't allow their people to vote. And you got to understand, it's just been, there was a certain segment of the Democratic Party that got, that wasn't happy with the fact that they didn't get to choose. And so they stepped back. Then there was a certain segment of the community of Democratic Party voters, I'm talking about, who said, well, I don't really like Kamala. So then they stepped back. And all that's been happening is their constituents have been getting carved off like this, with a scalpel. Scalpel, just a little carve here, carve there. And now, as we get towards the end, bro, they're just getting hit with mallets, metal mallets, and just bam, just smashing and crushing their own constituents. The whole time thinking they're affecting or hurting or upsetting someone that's conservative. But it's their people who have the soft skin and can't take a joke and get upset when people crack jokes. So you're really doing damage to yourself. What I think is interesting is when you look here, look at the response. Trump supporters are proudly embracing President Joe Biden's insult of them as garbage during campaign call on Tuesday. Look at this. Monica Crowley, this piece of garbage, proudly voted early for President Donald Trump the third time. May Musk, I used to be a Democrat. Now I'm garbage. I prefer garbage. That's Elon's mother. Dan Bongino, I may be garbage, but at least I'm not a communist. Liz Willis, I love trash. Seth Keesler, Captain K, I'm proud to be an extra large piece of garbage. Brett Cooper, me and my husband voting for Trump. This could be us. And this is the one right here. Black woman. Good morning, Patriot Garbage fam. One thing about MAGA is that we make everything look good. And she puts on a garbage bag. You got sex in that garbage bag too, girl. And she wears a garbage bag. I don't know what's up with your legs. Look like you got a lot of mosquito bites on your legs, whatever. And that's the point I'm making, guys. Make America garbage again. Marco Rubio, proud to be an American. This is the thing that I know they gotta understand. They gotta have some clue that it's got the strategists have to have some kind of clue that nothing's working. I mean, it was just last week that Jim Carvell came out with the entirety of the Nazi narrative. Remember, they started a Nazi narrative leading up to the New York Trump rally. That's when it started, a week before, perfectly timed to create the narrative. And now that whole narrative is wiped out of the window and gone. And then they turned around, they had Whoopi Goldberg ugly behind come out. And I think it's funny that Whoopi looks like a demon. She has her hair like demonic horns on her head. Hold on, let me get this. Then Whoopi Goldberg comes out and she doubles down. Which, the relevance of Whoopi Goldberg, she's only relevant because people actually make her relevant. Because we make money off of her. I mean, when this election is over, you realize that nobody even gives a damn about what Whoopi believes or thinks. But until then, she's relevant. That is not coming in the right way. And I don't want to hear it out there. I want to hear it in my earphones. Here we go.
So you know they're working very hard to spin this to...
I mean, she literally looks like a demonic goat. Look at it. Looks like a demonic goat. Like a old ass Baphomet. The old Baphomet ass dirty sandy beach.
Some crazy end, but this is my problem. Let me explain to y'all. I don't understand why all the pearl clutching over Biden's statement, why they all have a problem.
Why are you reading this off a piece of paper instead of just talking?
With what Biden said, when what this other guy has said.
J.D. Vance?
No,
the comedian.
I'm going to
She's
watch
talking
the
about the
clip.
man whose name she doesn't
Watch
Like a garbage can. You know, it's the first time I've ever said that. We're like a garbage can. We're like a garbage can. It's like we're a giant garbage can.
Yeah. So
He's talking about
country.
The country.
The entire.
Wow. This is how crazy it is. He says it's like we're a giant garbage can. He's talking about how they're bringing in these people from all over. He's talking about the illegal immigration. They're reaching. And this is the crazy thing about Whoopi. I mean, I hope that the Lord smites every last one of these tricks on this show. Because I'm telling you, they're all witches. I mean, pure on witches that are manipulating people. I hope the Lord strikes all of them down with bolts of lightning. But Whoopi's a special little witch. You know what I'm saying? She really is a special little witch who's destroyed her own community and destroyed households and families for years. She's the equivalent of Oprah Winfrey type witch. I mean, they just destroyed women, period. And I honestly, when we really think about it, I don't know too many women who sit there and say, oh, I was watching The View yesterday and I believe this. I just don't know too many of them who watch. And I'm pretty sure if we look at the ratings of The View, they don't have great ratings. So we're just talking about Whoopi just to be freaking talking about her. I probably shouldn't even talk about this trick. But we're going to listen to what this goat head trick got to say.
Yeah.
Garbage
population.
Right.
So, and what about this? Because this is, you know, since we're doing this, he seems to be able to, well, not, let's see all the stuff he's talked about, what he's called Democrats. Evil, dangerous, Marxist, communist, fascist, sick people, the enemy within. And he said all that just this week.
Yeah.
So I don't.
And this trick right here. I mean, they're struggling to spin it.
I don't understand why you clutching your pearls. Because you're trying to make something out of a tongue slip. Yeah. Hillary called these folks deplorable. Yeah, okay.
But
it happened, but
for months we've been hearing how Joe Biden is in dementia, that
he is in dementia. What is wrong with you?
He's old, he's doddering, he can't remember. All of a sudden, he's clear as a bell.
Okay, well, I'm going to take
Oh, so now they're accepting that Joe Biden has got dementia. It's crazy how these people are spinning it. It's insane.
I'm going to take the under on this one. I thought Kamala Harris knocked it out of the park with her closing message, and this stepped on it because she is running on unifying the country, being a country for all Americans, including the 74 million people who voted for Donald Trump last time. I appreciate that Joe Biden immediately and swiftly walked it back. Donald Trump does not walk back comments, but the profile of the undecided voter right now is like a lot of people in my family. Life felt a little better under Donald Trump. I kind of think he's a jerk, but I don't know. I don't know if I trust that other side. I don't feel like they really care about me. So when they hear the president of the United States, who was Kamala Harris's running mate, calling them garbage, they're like, see, they're not with us. He's not.
Now watch. She just told the truth, and that's the thing about it. She just told the truth, and that's what I was just saying prior to this. The undecided voter is gonna be like, yo, I don't like that. Because they're wishy-washy. They're on the fence. They're in their feelings and their emotions. Oh, I don't like the language. I don't like this. I don't like. These are the same people. This is that mentality. And so the rest of them will try and spin it. It's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, he just utterly decimated her campaign, and she's already losing all over the place. But he did so much damage to this woman's campaign. I think it's irreparable damage, honestly, because he stepped on her closing message. And the girl was right. She was trying to go with a closing message of, I'm going to unite the community. I'm going to do these, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try and bring everybody together. And then he comes out and says, nope, y'all garbage. And so now they have a fire that they're trying to put out, 6 days before the election? 6 days before the election, and you have to put a fire out. I'm telling you guys, I see these people losing their crap probably midway through the night on November 5th. I'd say let's give it to about, I don't know, maybe 10:30ish, whatever. Give it about 2 hours after the polls close. They're gonna lose their stuff. It may be before the polls close, because you get exit polls, you get all the information. They're gonna lose it. Anticipate them having a couple of states that say, oh, we can't count our ballots. You know, we need days to count our ballots, and we need more time, because anticipate them closing down some ballot locations. Anticipate all the shenanigans you could ever see and all the shenanigans you could ever imagine. But when it's all said and done, they about to lose their damn minds. So, will there be riots in the street? Absolutely. They did it the last time. It's going to be in blue cities where the police stand down? Absolutely. Is it going to be all over the media? Absolutely. Anticipate all of it. I mean, anticipate every last drop of it.